Alright guys, like I was telling you, man, check me out. From the smallest particles of all we are, fellas, all the way up to the biggest matter there is. You know, the biggest skyscraper, biggest mountain, no matter what it is, right? It all starts out with atoms, okay? And we're all made of the same atoms. And these atoms are only one way, one more positive than all negativity. When they bond, right, they only bond one more positive than all negativity to make the good truth of every shape, form, and mass expressed to the here and now of reality check, okay? Now, I want to show you something. If that's a fact of every matter there is and how it bonds and what it's made of, right? Then you got to know anything crossing the less than more positive than negative is no good as truth, okay? Well, all faith is always negatively deficient through a bias of what is good as truth, right? And the reason why that matters is if you live in a faithful world, you don't know what the absolute bigger and better of you always is. You have no mind for it. It's the bad way, evil, sinful way of you. You understand that, right? But when you live in a world where you can identify what's good as truth and you don't need faith, right? You know to only cross anything negative back more positive. That will only add you up good as truth. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. Now that good as truth, right, is an absolute bigger, better predictor of your matter alive and well here and now. And you don't need faith for that. See, faith gives you a void. You have no understanding of what the absolute bigger and better of you. And it's always to only do more positive than the negatives of you. The bad way of nothing, the evil way of nothing, the sinful way of nothing. And that is a fact of God check. You hear me? And I tell people all the time, if you can't comprehend that, right, the only thing you can do is die of that. Because in reality check, right, if you're not bringing what's negative always back to a more positive, enlightened state to keep you good as truth is your shape, form, and mass to the reality check of you, right, you're not. Now, all faith has a positive variables, but that's all they are. That's why none of them are lasting good as truths. You see, consistently only to the absolute bigger and better of you. Because there's only one absolute bigger and better of you. You feel me, Duke? And that's more positive than negative always with the good truth, form of mass, as the reality check of your expressed matter. You know what I'm saying? Here and now. And faith will never bring you to that absolute bigger, better way. I tell you guys that with love, man. I tell the world that with love. I tell your mama that with love. Don't be a fool of faith, because that fool, since the never-ending beginning of the here and now, has done nothing but commit suicide, right? With suffering and death. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead, man. Everybody else, go do more positive than that. Be a good example of the truth of you, right? Only getting bigger and better with all you love. That's the only true love there is of anybody. See, you can say you truly love somebody, but unless you're always wanting them to be a more positive, bigger, better person, good in their life as truth, you love nothing. But if you have no mind for that, you don't understand that. And that's the governments around the world. That's the religions around the world. See, they're not bringing us always to an absolute bigger, better of us, good as truth, right? And that's why I told Duke this morning. I said, once you know that, that's the king of kings of all things. You see, there's nothing more powerful. There's nothing more enlightening. There's nothing bigger and better than only doing more positive than negative as the good truth of you, as an example of being lasting to the bigger and better of all negativity. You understand that, KK? Understand that, Duke? Love you, fools. Peace.